NA, I think that one was on the biggest loser today. Sometimes yesterday's losers are today's winner. ASNA, they're up 28% at 75 cents. Okay. SWIR,
Please subscribe.
welcome back to another episode of Dave's Recap. My name is Dave Natch, I speak stocks. Welcome all my new subscribers. I usually give two plays per day in the mornings before market opens, okay? Dave's play and Dave's bonus play. And in the evening I do a recap. All right. Quite an epic week. The Dow Jones closed down 0.68% today. And the Nasdaq closed down 0.94%, okay? Let me just back up to ABUS, ABUS. I tweeted that stock yesterday afternoon, all right? I noticed the stock made a huge move. I grabbed some shares right away. There wasn't any news at that time, all right? I grabbed some in the fours. I tweeted and said this might be a good overnight swing, okay? Subsequently to that, big news came out. They won their patent against Moderna, mRNA, ticker symbol mRNA, regarding their Big C vaccine. All right. Seems like mRNA stole their patent. This is ABUS, ABUS. The stock took off. And the next day, I sold about 25% in the pre. All right. I should have sold more because that was my intent and purpose. It's an overnight swing. But I said, okay, it's a pattern. Maybe there's more to this news. Maybe it could keep running. So I watched it. The stock closed down 20%. So most of the action was going on in the pre. I think it went as high as $9. No, I think the $9 came at regulation time. I think it went as high as $8 in the pre. I sold at around in the sevens. And I was like, darn it, I could have got it at 8. But I woke up late. I woke up minutes to 5. And I think that price hit around between 4 a.m. and 4:30. That 888 price. I'm like, okay, no problem. At least it worked out. Ho and below, regulation time, the stock went as high as 902. Okay, so they opened up at 798. The low of the day was 477, the low of the day. They closed at 496. Check this out, the volume was a whopping 218 million shares exchange hands. 218 million compared to their average of 3.3 million. Okay, that's ABUS. I'm going to be selling the rest of the position on Monday, or depends on what the stock does on Monday. Okay, all right, let me back up to Eman, EMAN. I tweeted this this afternoon. Watch if it stays above 1. Eman has been on my stock list for a couple of months now. That's the reason why on Wednesday, when they came out with their news, this was Wednesday, July the 21st. they came out with news, and I went in heavy at 90 cents. I went in with about 2,000 shares. Yes, 2,000 shares at 90 cents. That's heavy for me because I like to start small. This channel is about making a little go a long way. All right. Anyways, let's get back to EMAN. So I started a position on Wednesday because it has catalyst, right? News came out. That's why I'm saying news. I take all news with a grain of salt. I watch price action. The stock did nothing that day. I bought at 90 and the high of the day was 92. So I said, wow, I bought at the high. I'm like, what am I going to do? So it haggled between 84 cents and 90 cents. 84 cents all day. So I was down 5%. I said, you know what? Let me take some off the table. Let me lessen my holdings. So I sold about 65% of my shares. All right. Because I said, okay, the stock is basing nicely in a tight range. I said, okay, I'm not going to get all the way out. And it's not like I'm down 15%, 20%. I said, okay, 5%. Let me take some off the table. All right. Lo and below, lo and behold. How do you say that? The next day, which is today, I saw Eman started to run. I'm like, you son of a gun. You started to run without me. You started to run 24 hours late. This was the move I was anticipating. Right? And it didn't happen on Wednesday. So I sold at over $1, 120 something. All right? Because I know it has trouble staying at $1. This is Eman. The stock opened up at 87 cents today and ran as high as 130. But I was fortunate. I still had some shares left, so I sold some at a nice profit because my price was 90 cents. All right. Nice little pop today. That was the move I was anticipating. Should have been more patient with that one. All right. So they opened up at 87 cents. The high of the day, 130. The low of the day, 85 cents. I featured this stock a few months ago, Eman. You could go ahead and check the video. That's why I know it has problems staying at $1. Okay. On Wednesday, which day was it? June, sometime in June the 12th, yeah. June the 12th, no news. Yeah, they came out with news June the 12th. And it went from 85 cents that day to $1.49. That's the key number to watch. Put that one on your stock list, EMAN. Watch if it could pop over 150, $1.50, all right? These stocks like to sneak up on you, but I'll be there in time early. Because if you're not first, you're last. That's why I started a heavy position, because I know the stock sometimes like to pop over one. So I grabbed some shares at 90 cents. It didn't do what it do that day, but it had a delay reaction. It did that today. Okay. And the volume on that day, on June 12th, it was 77 million shares. That was the next. On Thursday, on Wednesday, I should have knew based on the volume that this stock wasn't going to do anything. The volume was weak. You see, because for example, today's volume is 48 million. 48 million today, and their average is 4.8 million. And the day when I went in heavy, which was Wednesday, it was about 2 million shares. So right away, but sometimes I try to be slick to my own self. I said, let me get in early before all the volume come in. It didn't happen. All right, let me cut the blatherskite and get back to these Dave's play and Dave's bonus play. Another banger today again. Depends on how you trade and what price you got in at. Most of the action was done for NTZ. No, ENT. Most of the action was already exhausted in the pre. Guys, if you want to take advantage of pre-hours trading, sign up with my link below, Webull. Trading starts 4 a.m. sharp. Between 4 a.m. and 9:30, it's a different kind of market goes on in the pre-market. It's a different world out there. It's not for the risk averse. Has a lot of gyration. You have a lot of 200-300% move in the pre. I'm telling you, a lot of action. If you have the propensity for risk, you could trade in the pre-market. All right, a lot of movements, but just be careful. All right, if you stick around too long or if you start too heavy, you will get burned. All right, let's jump into today's play. NTZ, it's an Italian company. They closed up 55% at $1.77. The stock opened up at $6.45. The high of the day was an even $7. The low of the day, $3.18, with a volume of 73 million exchange hands today, compared to a meager volume of 336K for their average volume, 336,000. Okay, that's NTZ, Dave's play for the day. Let's go on to ENT, Dave's bonus play. This one did a little better. They closed up 54% at 323. All right. Oh man, I mixed the numbers up. ENT closed up 54% at 323. They opened up at 645. The high of the day, $7. The low of the day, 3.18. Okay. Volume is 73 million. Average volume 336. So let me back up to NTZ. NTZ closed up 55% at $1.77. They opened up at 204. The high of the day is 248. Pay attention. 248, that's their new 52-week high. All right, let's see if they could break that next week. Okay. The stock went as low as 162 with a volume of 60 million shares change hands. Okay. Average volume is 287,000 shares. That's their average. That's for NTZ. I got the tickers all tangled up just now. Maybe I'm tired. All right, let's delve into the after hours runners. Stocks kicking up rumpus in the after hours. We have WHLM. WHLM, this is a low float and it's been going on wild in the after hours. Right now they're up 122% at 8:30. I think they went much higher than that. I was watching it in the AH. I don't play after hours. It's too risky. Unless I'm selling out of a position. And next we have SNSS. They're up 41% at 49 cents in the AH. Then we have XPER. They're up 17% at 17.50. Next we have GNCA. They're up 17% at 5.23. RVP up 6% at 10.30. Put this one on your stock list, please. RVP. Their 52-week high is 10.49. They're at 10.30 right now. So Might be some action at 10:50 if they get there on Monday, okay? RVP was a stock I recommended in April with good fundamentals. This is not a spec play. They have good fundamental numbers. I checked the hood. Check on the hood, kick the tires. Check out the video that I did. It's sometime in April or late March, early April. RVP. Okay, also that same time, that same day, I recommended PLT. PLT was in about $11, $12 at the time. PLT is around $20 now. Also CGen. Those are good fundamental companies, all right? But back then, nobody was watching my channel. Yeah, I had the bangers. I had the bangers from back then. I had the bangers from back then. Started talking about stocks since the pandemic, the epic pandemic, Big C, when they closed New York City down. You know, I said, let me talk. Well, someone recommended I talk about stocks. I'm like, I don't know how to talk about stocks. I just trade stocks. You're good on stocks. Talk about stocks. Forget about real estate. I'm like, okay, let me give it a shot. And the channel has been growing exponentially because I'm giving you good content. Check the history. I've been banging out plays for the last 2.5 weeks. All those 500% runners, all those 800% runners, those were my plays. And I only give 2 plays. It's not like I'm giving you 20 stocks to choose from. 2 plays. Okay? Check the history. I'm working on great things here. Stick around. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Please give me a thumbs up. Please like the video. I appreciate you. Let's get the word around. Please share the video. All right? Have a good weekend. That's it for now. I think I talk enough. I think I talk too much on this today. All right? Protect that neck. Make your next trade your best trade. And please trade responsibly. All right? Have a good day. Have a good weekend. See you tomorrow.
Thank you for watching.